Well, hello and welcome to the first ever Cow Tech with your host, Adam Ross, and my main guy, Tyler. And we are coming at you live from the makeshift studio. That's why I got the mobile thing going on. We are currently in somewhat of a power outage snowstorm up here in Canada, so bear with us. But welcome to the first show ever.
Welcome, everybody. It's fun to be here. I'm excited to get the series going.
So, a lot of people probably don't know who me and Tyler are. So, what I thought we could start off with is kind of how I and Tyler got introduced to the products. So, I'll go first because I don't know how long I'll have power, but I got introduced to the CowRC Magic out at P&B about 7 years ago, and it was an awesome dude named Jeremy Mosier, and he had this insane setup out at the track. And me being a complete newbie, I go out on the track right after they water, and sure enough, my buggy was caked. So this gentleman calls me over and gives me a sample shine and test run of the CowRC parts and chassis wash, and at the time had the CowRC blaster. Now, within seconds, he had my vehicle ready for actual practice and qualifying, and it looked better and cleaner than when I first brought it. So right then and there, my first impressions were just off the hook and was just, sold on it ever since. But Tyler, how did you get your first introduction to CowRC?
Yeah, not too much different. I started in the hobby doing off-road racing, outdoor clay, indoor clay, and my cars were dirty all the time. And I would go to the auto parts store and get some stuff, and it worked okay. But then it's kind of same as you. I saw somebody in the track using CowRC. It was Moo-Kleen part and chassis wash. That was kind of like that's like the hallmark product of CowRC. And anyways, tried it out and really liked it. And so I went out and realized there was a lot more to CowRC than just one product. The jet blaster, like you said, one of my favorites is the electronic cleaner Degreaser. That having a product that's electronic safe is a game changer. Being able to clean off your cars without taking all the parts and pieces off the most expensive is amazing. So yeah, that just got me hooked, and CowRC has been developing new products ever since.
Well, that's a good segue because we actually get to try out some of the products before they're introduced to the customers. And one thing that we have coming up is going to be the all-new Carbon series. Now, Tyler, if you want to kind of give them a little preview of what they can expect with that Carbon series, because I know I'm excited for it because I'm a carbon junkie, and I love doing all the carbon upgrades I possibly can on my RC cars. But yeah, what are you thinking of that?
Yeah, so so right now it's on pre-order. So pre-orders and release is going to be about April or May is when the product be released. So the nice thing about CowRC mats is they're nice and bright and white. The downside to them is then when you use them really hard, they get dirty and mucky and scratched, and they don't look as nice over time. Well, CowRC has come up with a solution, and so the Carbon series is a rubber-based foldable mat, and so it's meant to take the abuse. It's black. You can also do combos with it where you can add in magnetics, just like you have, like here, the bright white laminate magnetics with it. But it's basically a mat that you can take with you and you can beat on it. You can put tire sauce on it. You can clean your vehicles on it. It gives you a place to contain your parts, and also is resistant to abuse, from cleaning and tire sauce, tire marks, etc. I mean, even crawler tires and things like that. These leave marks on your magnetics. So again, another way to protect your investment.
One of the things that I'm super excited about with the new Carbon edition coming out is that you can just bring it home, spray it with the hose, wash it off, and you're good to go for next round. Having 2 kids, that makes it that much more efficient when you're going through the cleaning process and wrenching in between rounds. You always want to make it as easy as possible. Thanks, Jim. Yeah, no, for sure. They definitely have some wicked products. And the whole deal with us starting out this show, and I do apologize for not having any lights and stuff like that, because I would love to show off some more of those products. I love his setup, though. Tyler's got it rocking right now, and he's going to have to hold us up for this first show. But I do want you guys to know that we want you to participate. If you have any questions whatsoever, please post them up, and we will try and answer them as quickly as we can. Heck, we might even have the stuff on our tables and our benches, and we will be able to demonstrate possibly what you're asking for. So we want to make this as interactive as we possibly can. And in the future, when we go to post for the live shows, we're actually going to have a little area where you guys can comment all your questions, so we can set it up ahead of time to maybe even go dive a little deeper. And I know Tyler is fantastic when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, the purpose of this show is for everybody. It's for the fans, for the customers, and it's not to just talk about what's for sale and what is out there. It's to talk about how do you properly use the products that you may already own. You know, there's multiple ways to use a single product. It's not like, you know, electronic cleaner degreaser is only for electronics. So we're here to make the most of your use of the product, because you may not use it on electronics. You may use it on a paint, paint prep for a body, or to prep a surface before servo tape. You know, there's lots of different things, and there's stuff that you guys may not know. There's only so much you can pick up from Facebook and from the website. We try to be as thorough as possible on those platforms, but a lot of it gets lost in interpretation. So that's why we're here. We're here to show you what's existing, how to use it best, or if you even want us to say, how do I do this, or what's the best way to do this on my vehicle, we'll help you. And that's what this is about. This is for the fans, this is for the customers, and it's to help you use these products to your best ability.
Not only that, there might be communication when we start getting into it that you guys might surprise us. You never know. And that would just make it even that much better. And hanging out with everybody, kind of getting a feel for what's going on in the industry and seeing what you guys are actually into. I'm personally into the racing scene hardcore. I got both my kids into it, and I'm very blessed that we do it as a family. Now, Tyler, I'm sure he's got all the rock crawlers and stuff like that, but what's your main gig, bud?
Yeah, I used to be heavy into off-road racing, really loved it, and I changed into the crawler scene. So I went from going fast to going slow, and that's what I enjoy. These things I enjoy, scale trucks. I enjoy going to different events. I also enjoy drifting. That's being in the Northeast in Ohio, it's going outside is not my favorite thing. So I changed it up in the winter to drifting. So staying indoors, being at the racetrack, being around something that I do really enjoy, and being comfortable inside versus cold outside. So I tend to get into a lot of different genres of RC. I've got monster truck, I've got go fast stuff, different scales. So it's fun to be able to use these products in different ways. And I think that's where Adam and I can bring value to everybody, is just based on our experience and how we use these products. It's not just, boats. It's everything that these can be used for.
Yeah, and I think that we'll kind of play well off each other because we cover a lot of genres. Just recently, we got into the on-road racing carpet, and we got our big, huge Canadian Nats coming out. And you know what? I'm super excited, super stoked, and I didn't realize how dirty on-road racing actually is with all the saucing and the weird chemicals that they use. So having the CowRC hide wipes for me was clutch, because when my kids start cleaning their tires and stuff like that, we use the hide wipes kind of like to keep them clean, not only our kids. So it's a win-win for us.
Yeah, and just kind of like to kind of make an explanation about what this show. I explained what the show is about, and what we're going to do is probably, we don't have a schedule set up yet. This is episode 1 of hopefully many to come, and we're looking for this platform to grow. and it's going to grow based on the participation from the fans. So if you haven't already, please feel free to start putting in the comments and asking the questions, because that's really the crutch of this program, is to help. It's not necessarily for Adam and I to talk about what we did racing week after week. It's really just to service you and make you all better at the track, and not break down on the rock crawler course or what have you. So this is hopefully one of many, and as you can probably see from the from our graphics, when you do tune into this, we are giving away a 10% discount, the promo code cow-tech. So make sure that you use that, and that's your reward and your prize for showing up and supporting CowRC through this program, and trying the products. And we'll kind of go through some products as we go along. And there's some really neat things that we'll talk about here in a little bit on the website that were added as far as products as sample testers and packs. And RC, we call them RC maintenance packs. So, or I'm sorry, RC maintenance kits. So that way you can kind of test everything and see how you like it. And then next week, come back and ask questions if you have any.
Now, just to add on top of that, Heath has just redone the entire website. And if you haven't been over there lately, you got to swing by and check it out. Now, the cool thing that I like is when I send newbies that are just getting into the CowRC stuff, they now have a whole regimented pack. And they got different levels as well, if I'm not mistaken, Tyler, with the launch.
Sure. Yeah, I can go over that real quick. Let me pull in. Okay. So yeah, if you go to the website, they're called RC maintenance kits, and we have got we've got everything from a sample pack, which is $10. You've got some samples plus magnetics. You've got some aerosols, cleaners, and magnetics. You've got magnetics, lubricants, cleaners, and aerosols, and then the granddaddy of them all, the biggest kit, which also includes a jet blaster in it. So if you don't know what a jet blaster is, this is a jet blaster. So what this is basically for keeping your workshop clean, clean off your vehicles. Extremely powerful. It's all air, has a filter on the bottom, power cord with it. And there's actually, this is a useful tool, especially, if you're doing outdoor racing. Great in between heats, those type of things. So it's those RC maintenance kits are newly designed. It's not necessarily new products. CowRC just packaged them so that way the fans and customers can kind of just click, and you get a variety of different products to try out.
Not only that, that coupon code that you guys see in the banner there can work with other coupon codes. So this is just our thanks to you for joining in on the show. And honestly, if you have questions and stuff like that, we're going to actually keep building it up for you guys based off the questions, because really your questions are what's going to drive the show and make it better. Because right now it's just two guys rambling, and we want your participation. And all the comments, as you can see, we can throw them up. And then that way, while we're talking about a specific product, application, a way to do something, we can actually leave that comment up there so everybody tuning in can benefit from your one question. Just like this. So we got Matt coming up there. The jet blaster is awesome. Instant air with the internal fan. I use it on my RC and full-size vehicles and motorcycles. Man, I haven't had anything better than my Cow Blaster. The Cow Blaster for me replaced me having to bring an air compressor with the nozzles. So for me and traveling, clutch.
Yes, no, absolutely. I mean, and actually Matt brings up a really good point. Because anything with like air-cooled motors and it has all those air fins on it, that is where I think this tool for a motorcycle enthusiast is invaluable. So not only, and you'll find out a lot of these things, a lot of these products. I mean, Moo-Slick. I use Moo-Slick to grease door hinges on my truck, in the house. It's so they do have a dual purpose in some respect. I've used Udder Butter to lubricate the gears in my trailer, trailer wheel. So those things, there's a lot of different stuff. So, and actually, so let's talk about the Jet Blaster real quick. So, on the website, there's two different ones. There's a Jet Blaster regular, and then there's a variable speed Jet Blaster. So the variable speed Jet Blaster actually, and what it is what I have here is the turbo, which we don't sell that anymore. The variable speed blaster replaced this. And the nice thing about that is with the turbo, it's got so much power that it was a little bit difficult to use indoors because it had just a lot of airflow. So the variable speed still gives you the high power of the turbo, but also gives you the low power of the regular. So, and everything in between. So it's actually an adjustable knob. So that's something that, again, CowRC is changing the way it does its products to meet what the customers are looking for. And this is just an example of that.
So Mark has our first question, and it was funny because you almost answered it when you grabbed the Moo-Slick.
Ah, there you go. Okay. Yes, sir. Well, Mark, Moo-Slick. So this is what repels the mud and dirt. And it's on any scale. You could do it, it repels carpet fibers for indoor. So this is a silicone-based aerosol, just like an aerosol that you'd see anywhere else. And actually, the cool thing, going into CowRC's change in products is, with shipping now, a lot of our products have changed, and prices have gone up, across the board for a lot of things. So what CowRC has done is actually sells different nozzles for their aerosols, like Moo-Slick or Cleaner and Degreaser, for you to change how much product comes out of this. So if you don't like a lot of product coming out of this, different nozzles and different tubes, believe it or not, trust me, these are different. Even though they look the same, they are different. So one has a larger hole than the other. And that's, a way that, this will go to any different aerosol that CowRC sells and allow you to use the product the way you want to. But going back to Mark's specific question is, yes, Moo-Slick, this is not electronic safe, but is very plastic safe, metal safe. So what you want to do is spray this on before you get out on the track. It will repel dirt, mud, and it makes your next cleaning session that much better. And what I like to do, and this may not apply to the 8th scale, but the 10th scale buggy scene, I would spray my chassis plate with this. That way, if I cased a jump, it's just less resistance. So if it would just kind of let it scoot over a little bit. So very good stuff. Makes wheels and tires look phenomenal. If you want to show them off on a display, on the shelf at home. So this is the product for you, Mark.
Nice. And then now we got Billy. So speaking of cleaning, what would you recommend from the CowRC arsenal to clean the inside of bodies for painting and prep work? That is an awesome question.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate the question. So Moo-Kleen, Cleaner and Degreaser. So as I mentioned, this was meant to be a electronics cleaner, and it is a very good electronics cleaner. But you can also do it to prep bodies. Now, the thing you do want to make sure you do when you do prep bodies is to spray it on a rag first. Don't spray this directly onto a Lexan body, as an example, because some Lexan bodies aren't as good as others, and this will eat away at it and may cloud it. So you want to make sure you spray it on a rag first, rub the rag on the inside of the body, and get that prepped. That's what I do for all my bodies. Another good thing this is good for, again, I mentioned earlier in the show, servo tape. So if you're mounting an ESC or receiver to your chassis, spray, and then again, you can spray this directly on the product, either the electronics or the RC, and it preps the surface. That way your electronics aren't popping off when you're using them.
Nice. And now we got a question that is awesome for me, because Steve, I am in a snowstorm in Canada currently right now. I'm not 100% where you're from, but I do have a limited supply of products that I sell on my website. But unfortunately, you wouldn't be able to use the coupon code. If you want, just PM me, and I'm sure we can work out some kind of deal to make sure that we set you up with anything you might be looking for. And then Josh is saying, got to get some more Moo-Slick. It makes it so much easier to clean later. Might have to check out the wipes. Yes, the wipes are phenomenal.
Yeah, you want me to talk about those, Adam?
Yeah, and then we'll bring up Bill's second one.
Okay, so Hide wipes here. So this is kind of like an all-purpose cleaner. You can use it for your hands. You can use it for at home, trucks, tires, all kinds of stuff. So, this is a neat product. So it's 110 of these wipes. So these are pretty big wipes. 110 of these in a canister, and they're all moistened. And the cool thing is, there is an abrasive. You're not going to be able to see it on here, but an abrasive side and a smooth side. And so if you're doing bodies, clean off your body, you don't want to, necessarily need the abrasive side. You're just polishing it up, doing this. But if you've got like tires that are full of mud, the abrasive side, you're just pulling the mud off the tires, getting it ready, taking it out of the chassis, taking it out of your links, whatever it may be. But super good. I brought a transmission here that's dirty. Clean up this. And the nice thing is, there's only so much, just spraying a part with you kind of need to agitate it. And this is kind of like a sponge / Lysol wipe to clean off pretty much anything. And so what you can do, and you can clean off the tables. You can do a lot of other stuff with it. Cleaning off your hands, in between heats. That's a great thing too. And they usually last in about an hour, sitting out. So you can kind of see mine's already, by cleaning my truck here, I already kind of got some dirt on it. So, it's something that is very diverse. It smells really good. It doesn't smell like a gross cleaner. It actually smells really nice. So a great product and very versatile.
Yeah, I apologize. I am on candlelight now, so it got a little bit worse here. So I do apologize for that, and thank you, Tyler, for holding us up here. But Bill actually has another great question, and it has to do with the electronics cleaner, and it is definitely not silicone based.
Right. Yeah, and this actually will evaporate water too. So if you're like me, who likes to occasionally take your trucks for a bath in the river and stuff like that, this will evaporate water on your truck. So you're correct, Bill. It's not silicone based. This is a cleaner. It's not really a protectant. It's a cleaner. I use this on the whole truck, frankly. I mean, shocks. The little threads on your shocks that you've got to spend forever, taking a toothbrush to. This stuff melts off dirt off of shocks and any little threads and things like that. Really good. It comes out good power. And again, that's kind of why CowRC came out with these different nozzles, is because not everybody wanted the power. It's nice to have a strong stream of product coming out, but also use a lot of product. So depending on what you want to conserve your product and use it, or if you want to hammer down and use a big stream, there's your options. But yeah, Bill, the two different things, Moo-Slick is for protectant and preventative maintenance. It's great for lubricating, your CVD joints. It's good for bearings, lubricate those. Not electronic safe. This is electronic safe. Now, the downside to this is it being a cleaner. It will remove the grease off of your bearings. So you just have to make sure you go back and re-grease them with the Moo-Slick. Now, it's not going to like completely deteriorate them or anything like that. It's just something to be aware of. If you keep doing that, it'll take the oils off the bearing. So you just reapply with the Moo-Slick.
So Matt says, cleaning the Moo-Kleen Green Cow Magic is the best product in 18 years in this hobby he's used. Thank you very much. It is one of my favorite ones by far, and I'm still finding new uses for it every day.
Yeah, that's glad you said that, Matt, because this is kind of like the staple of CowRC. We've got the green color, and it comes in different forms. Now, if you remember, late last year we changed out how CowRC distributed this product. So we were used to seeing large 1-gallon jugs, and actually we even sold 5-gallon jugs of pre-mixed Moo-Kleen part and chassis wash. Had a spray bottle as well. So we've changed that, and the reason that we've changed that is because of weights on shipping. Shipping costs have gone up, and shipping a 1-gallon jug of Moo-Kleen part and chassis wash was about the same price as the chassis wash itself. So it didn't make a whole lot of sense. So we came up with a couple of different things. So this is our only premix option available at this point. So you see a much smaller container, which is nice because it's travel friendly. So keep that in mind. It's enough where you can keep it at home, but it's also convenient for travel. We've also come up with the concentrate version. So we have a 32 ounce and a 16 ounce concentrate. And the cool thing with this is, again, here's a micro truck, about the same height as a micro truck, right? So pretty small compared to, and this will make, if I remember right, I think this makes up to 5 gallons. So a 32 ounce jug of this makes up to 5 gallons of water mixed. And so the nice thing about this, again, is allows the customer to mix the product how they want. So if you want a really strong Moo-Kleen part and chassis wash, you can put less water in it. If you want to make this run as long as you possibly can, you put more water in it. So it's up to you. And what we do recommend is a kind of a pump spray. You can get them at Home Depot. You can get them at Amazon. I think I got my pump sprayer for like $15 off of Amazon. So super versatile. You can take those with you, and it's going to last you a long time.
Yeah, and not only that, it was basically designed with the customer in mind. It is going to save you a ton of money in shipping expenses. And not only is it going to save you in shipping, then you can actually set up the mixture to what you prefer. If you want it extremely strong, you can do that. Now, one of the reasons why I like to have the concentrate and have it extremely strong is I have a tire wash station for the kids. When you put the Moo-Kleen concentrate in there with just a little skosh of water, those tires come out super clean, super dialed, and it makes them extremely tacky, which is always good because who doesn't mind a little extra grip here and there? Yeah, Jeremy, that was I'll bring it back up because that was move. I like that. I like that a lot. All right. So it works great. Oh, that is another thing that I can't wait to try. But yes, I have heard nothing but good things. I should have my sonic cleaner in any day now.
Oh yeah. Thanks, Jerry, for bringing that up. That is a game changer. I mean, you could buy a jewelry sonic cleaner for like $25 off of Amazon, and they are phenomenal. I've had mine for about a year, and it's great for small parts. Mine's probably about big enough to fit this transmission in, but it's I use it for gears, little small items. So I tear down, especially like if you're like me who likes to buy and sell used RCs. I'm actually just cleaning one up now. I took all electronics off of it and just kind of breaking it down. And having an ultrasonic cleaner is great. You don't have to. I mean, you just put it in there for 2 minutes and you walk away, and it just agitates everything, gets all that grease off of it, and you don't have to. You don't have to spend forever. Going like this and getting all the little nooks and crannies clean. It does it for you. And I mean, for a $25 investment plus some parking chassis wash is amazing.
Nice. Now, I know that a lot of you guys on here have already tried out some of the amazing products, and that is probably why you are tuning in today. Steve, I seen your message. I will definitely get back to you once the show is over, but I just want to say thank you guys for starting to throw in some questions.
Yeah.
That is what's going to make this show epic, and I know that with your participation and future questions, we can help grow this to new heights. And who knows, I feel that if we can get to a certain viewer count, giveaways will be on board, even if it comes from Ross Racing himself.
Very nice. Yeah. So don't forget about that promo code that's on the background here, cow-tech at your checkout. So it's 10% off of anything a CowRC sells on the website. So www.cowrc.com. Look, I mean, you'll get lost on the website. There's so many products out there. There's pre-orders out there, and I mean, and honestly, check out the website often, because there are new products that we're testing that have not been released yet. It's going to be coming all year round, so just keep watching.
Cool. Well, with that being said, unfortunately, we are going to have to cut this loose a little earlier than expected, but our target goal is to hang with you guys for about an hour. Obviously, we would need your participation to make that last a little bit better, and I'm sure once we get the viewer count up, I don't see that being a problem. And like I said, the next time we do the link, we're actually going to have a question and comment area, so we can bring your comments up and maybe be prepared with some samples and some show and tells for you guys in the future.
100%. Yeah, we've got lots of ideas, and this is just kind of the very tip of the iceberg. There's lots coming up.
So Matt has a great question, and Matt, look at, I actually had the Udder Butter all queued up. That was my gig here, and I was going to be the one to show it off. I got this. Well, you can't see it, but yeah, sorry guys, I apologize.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm having a seance here. It's creepy, but definitely. You have some Udder Butter there. I see it to the left, right? So if you want to talk about that before we cut everybody off, we'll finish on that note.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, thanks for the question, Matt. So this is a new product. It's you notice, like, CowRC's Udder Butter has come in a couple of different varieties over the years. There was a red one, there was a green one, and now there's this kind of a yellow beige one. And so there's a couple of reasons that has happened. Is one, product availability. As everyone knows, not every product that was available in 2019 is available in 2022 and 23. So CowRC had to improvise. So came up with an improved product. So it's not a downgrade, it's actually improved. And we tested this a lot. And so the things that we look for are like tackiness, and how the grease holds up to heat. So those are kind of some things that we play with. And the tackiness, meaning that your gears are spinning at an incredible fast rate. And so if the tackiness isn't there, those gears just shoot off the grease into the walls of the diff, and it does nothing for you. So that's one thing we test. And then heat. So we have guys that do boats. This is good for props. Prop shafts on boats. It's good for bearings. It's good for people are using it even on ends of links to thread on their ball ends. Their ball cap ends. So it has lots of uses, but the heat and its dependability on heat. So basically what I'm saying is that if you use this on your gears, you don't have to maintain your vehicles as much, because this is not going to break down due to heat or water, and it's not going to fling off and leave your gears dry. So that's really in a nutshell the difference in this product versus the green one that we had about a year ago.
One thing I would like to add to this, and it was one thing that I was testing big time. Whenever I'm rebuilding my shocks, I like to rebuild them after every 5 weeks. I kept checking the swelling of the seals. So we have little rubber seals in the bottom of our shocks, and it is extremely important that your grease doesn't swell them. And why would you grease the seals in there? Well, there's two reasons. One is because you want to have a proper seal and not let any of the oil blow through. The second reason, and a great tip, is when you're actually putting the shock shaft through, if you grease the threads, it will be less likely to cut your seals going through, and it just protects your investment and gets you all the performance that you expect out of your shock package.
No, awesome. Thanks for the question, Matt. This is a really good, again, it's one of those versatile products that's not just for gears. It's got a lot of different applications, and that waterproofing aspect, it's water resistant. So that's a very important thing when you're putting your trucks to 222 miles. Yeah,
Just
good point, Jeremy. Yeah, I mean that's for sure. There's I would say wrong information that floats around on Facebook about people say packing diffs. Well, you do not need to do that. That just causes unnecessary friction and resistance on your gears, which is going to burn up your motor. All you just need is to coat those gear teeth. That's all you need. It's a little goes a long way.
absolutely. So, Brian, they're ranked right up there for me and the kids, and definitely been clutch since we got into this crazy on-road racing action. But you know what, guys, I really apologize again for the power outage. I know next time I'll hopefully have as dialed up a backdrop and setup as Tyler over here. And we appreciate you guys chiming in. We appreciate your support. And I just wish you guys to have a good night. And look out for link to show number 2 coming up soon.
Yes, thanks everybody. It's been a lot of fun. We're looking forward to the next episode.
All right. So with that being said, we are going to make sure we post on all of the media outlets. We are going to keep working to improve the show. And obviously, it's going to take all of you to get it to the next level. Because without you, there is no show. So for that, you guys have a great night, and we will see you later.
Bye, everybody.